This may be a one-way ride. So be prepared, Leon.
Resident Evil 2 Remake is a terrifying and exhilarating reimagining of a classic. The updated graphics and gameplay make it feel like a whole new game while still staying true to the original. You play as either Leon Kennedy or Claire Redfield, each with their own unique story and encounters with iconic characters like Ada Wong and Sherry Birkin. The environments are incredibly detailed and atmospheric, drawing you into the survival horror experience. Get ready for some intense encounters with terrifying enemies like the Licker and Mr. X, who will stalk you relentlessly throughout the game. Resource management and puzzle solving are key elements, forcing you to think carefully about every bullet and every step you take. The tension is palpable as you explore the dark corridors and solve puzzles while trying to avoid becoming zombie chow. Whether you're a veteran of Raccoon City or a newcomer, prepare to be scared and thrilled by this masterpiece of survival horror. Resident Evil 2 Remake sets a new standard for the genre and is a must-play for any fan of horror games.
We have a great show for you here tonight. Alan Wake, one of my all-time favorite writers, and guests on the show.
Alan Wake 2 is a long-awaited follow-up that's worth the wait, especially if you're a fan of Remedy's past games like Control and Max Payne. It's a blend of single-player adventure, survival horror, and cinematic storytelling. Players control two characters, Saga Anderson, an FBI agent investigating eerie murders in a small town, and Alan Wake, trapped in a nightmarish version of New York. The game is challenging with limited resources, tense combat, and smart AI that keeps you on edge. Environments are beautifully designed, mixing creepy woods with atmospheric towns and surreal nightmare worlds. The flashlight mechanic adds tension, and the detective work in Saga's story is immersive. While newcomers may need some context, Alan Wake 2 excels with its thrilling gameplay, stunning visuals, and gripping narrative, making it possibly Remedy's best game yet. Silent Hill 2 Remake is a survival horror game that beautifully brings back the eerie world of Silent Hill with modern graphics and sound design. It captures the creepy atmosphere perfectly, making every corner feel unsettling. I really enjoyed exploring the detailed environments and solving the challenging puzzles. The emotional story still hits hard, and the improved voice acting adds to the experience. The combat is a bit clunky, but it didn't bother me too much because the focus is more on exploration and story. If you love psychological horror, this remake is definitely worth checking out.
Ashley, run!
Resident Evil 4 Remake takes the survival horror masterpiece and elevates it to a whole new level with stunning visuals and modernized gameplay. Step back into the shoes of Leon S. Kennedy as he faces hordes of Ganados in a truly terrifying and immersive experience. The environments are incredibly detailed and atmospheric, from the eerie village to the imposing castle and the terrifying island.
One down.
The combat is intense and visceral, with brutal melee attacks and satisfying gunplay that will keep you on your toes. You'll need to use every weapon in your arsenal and strategically manage your resources to survive the onslaught of enemies. The remake also introduces new features like side quests and expanded areas, giving you even more to explore and discover. This game is a thrilling and terrifying adventure that perfectly captures the spirit of the original while delivering a fresh and unforgettable experience. Dead Island 2 is a hilarious, gore-filled sequel that doesn't take itself seriously, and that's part of its charm. Set in a stunningly detailed and absurd version of LA, the game boasts ridiculously good graphics that make its blood-soaked melee combat and apocalyptic setting pop. You'll hack, slash, and drop-kick your way through zombie hordes as one of 6 playable characters. The story feels like a cheesy B-movie with sarcastic writing, colorful characters, and over-the-top quests, like slaying zombies for a clout-chasing influencer or fighting bee-infested undead. While combat starts strong with modded melee weapons and superhuman abilities, its repetitive nature and lackluster guns fall short. Multiplayer adds much-needed fun, though technical bugs and an unpolished feel detract from the experience. Dead Island 2 may not reinvent the zombie genre, but its humor, irreverent tone, gorgeous visuals, and co-op chaos make it worth a bloody good time. The Last of Us is a masterclass in storytelling and gameplay, redefining what video games can achieve as a narrative medium. Set in a post-apocalyptic world teeming with danger, the game immerses players in a harrowing journey that blends brutal survival mechanics with a deeply emotional story. At its core, the game tells the story of Joel and Ellie, an unlikely pair thrust together by circumstances and bonded by survival. The progression of their relationship, set against a bleak and terrifying backdrop, is the emotional heart of the experience. Whether navigating eerie sewers, braving snowy landscapes, or surviving in overrun suburbs, the journey is as much about their evolving bond as it is about the threats they face. The gameplay is equally impressive. Every encounter feels raw and desperate, whether you're conserving scarce ammo, crafting tools, or resorting to brutal melee combat. The game forces you to adapt to its unforgiving world. The tension is heightened in moments like sneaking past clickers or making split-second decisions to survive encounters with humans and infected alike. This balance between stealth and all-out combat ensures that no two scenarios feel the same. Ultimately, The Last of Us isn't just about surviving a brutal world. It's about the humanity that endures within it. From its gripping gameplay to its unforgettable characters, it's no wonder the game remains a standout in the minds of players even a decade later. This is a journey that sticks with you long after the credits roll. Dying Light 2: Stay Human is a thrilling zombie action game with an expansive open world and smooth, top-tier parkour movement. The game lets you leap between rooftops, scale skyscrapers, and use a grappling hook with ease, creating an exhilarating experience. The story features a cast of memorable characters including Rosario Dawson's Lawan and the charming Frank and Hakan, each bringing dramatic moments to the game. Combat is exciting, with options to creatively take down enemies using dropkicks, explosive gas tanks, and Molotov cocktails. The co-op mode allows up to 4 players to explore the city together, enhancing the fun with shared progress and XP. With its dynamic world and action-packed gameplay, Dying Light 2 delivers an unforgettable post-apocalyptic adventure. If you're enjoying the video and want to support a growing channel, then please do subscribe and hit the bell icon. Stalker 2: Heart of Chernobyl throws you into a harsh and unforgiving world where survival is key. Explore the Chernobyl Exclusion Zone, a place filled with dangerous mutants, deadly anomalies, and other stalkers, all competing for survival. You'll need to scavenge for supplies, manage your resources, and make tough choices to stay alive in this unforgiving environment. The game features a massive open world with dynamic weather and day-night cycles that create a truly immersive experience. Uncover the secrets of the zone, complete dangerous missions, and encounter memorable characters as you explore this atmospheric and captivating world. This game is not for the faint of heart, but if you're looking for a challenging and rewarding survival experience, this game is a must-play.
Time to wake up, Nightingale.
Withering Rooms is a horror adventure game where you explore a creepy mansion filled with terrifying creatures and tricky puzzles. And what I found really interesting was how the game keeps changing its environment, making each area feel new and unsettling, and the sound design is really good at building tension. But the controls can be frustrating at times, especially when you're trying to get away from enemies. And the story is a bit hard to follow. But even with its flaws, the game does a great job at creating a spooky atmosphere. So if you love horror games, you might want to check this one out. Little Nightmares 2 is a creepy puzzle platformer where you play as Mono exploring a distorted world filled with disturbing creatures. Solve puzzles, and sneak past enemies to survive this nightmare world with its tense atmosphere and amazing sound design. You'll encounter terrifying monsters like the creepy teacher and the horrifying hunter. Team up with 6 from the first game to overcome obstacles and solve puzzles together. Though challenging at times, Little Nightmares 2 is a thrilling and unforgettable experience. A must-play for fans of horror games and anyone who enjoys a good scare. Days Gone is a unique and thrilling zombie survival game that you should definitely check out. Its standout feature? The freaker hordes, or zombies, as most of us call them. Unlike typical games, these hordes don't just mindlessly charge at you, they surround and overwhelm you like a living, breathing wave of terror. If you've ever dreamed of facing zombies like in World War Z, this game delivers big time. Fighting them is intense, strategic, and terrifying, especially when you're low on stamina or far from your bike. Beyond the hordes, Days Gone nails the survival element. You're constantly scavenging for supplies, managing your bike's fuel, and staying alert to ambushes and wild animals. The world feels alive and deadly. While the story isn't the strongest aspect, the gameplay more than makes up for it. Plus, the Freaker's biology is uniquely fascinating, rivaling even The Last of Us in creativity. With weapons customization, bike upgrades, and post-story challenge modes, there's plenty to keep you hooked. If you love a gritty, survival-focused zombie game with depth and intensity, Days Gone is absolutely worth your time.